Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Thank you for clicking on this video. This podcast is coming back. I'm just going to start it with that. We're going to be back. And from now on, one episode a week, and I'm going to stick to that. I'm really, really going to try to stick to that. I have a lot of people in my life that will keep me accountable and try their best to keep me accountable. I'm going to use this time to kind of explain where I've been, what I have been doing, and my future plans for this podcast and maybe for the rest of my life. Who knows? Who knows? Although I'm not too good at planning, so most of that will come in time. Spoiler alert, I haven't really been doing that much. Not enough to have an excuse not to be doing this podcast. I've really, really missed this. It's like my therapy. People actually say that joke a lot, that men don't go to therapy, they start podcasts. And I say amen to that. They probably should, a lot of them. Talking through what you're thinking, what you're feeling, is a good thing to do, whether it's in a therapy session or whether it's in a podcast with friends or you're learning stuff. Okay, let's get into this. Where have I been? Basically, I lost the vision for the podcast. I don't really know why. I think a lot of it had to do with the scheduling. It's very tough to schedule podcasts, and not just schedule, but finding guests. Finding guests is very, very difficult, especially when I just know a limited amount of people. And even the people I do know, a lot of them don't want to do a podcast, which is a little odd to me. But it's not my life; it's theirs. That's one of the reasons why I haven't been doing this. You can't actually tell, but I have new chairs. I got new chairs. I wanted to update the podcast studio quite a bit. You can tell from behind me, I haven't really done that so much yet. I'm not very good at decorating, and I don't want to spend $600 for a neon sign of my logo. So we're going to do with what we have right now. You could probably tell that the lighting's better. I really hope that you can. And when we have a guest, we'll have a much more comfortable seat for them. And as I hope you can tell right now, the camera's actually going to be in a better light, and it's going to be more intimate. So when you're watching it on YouTube, you really feel like you're there in the room with us talking. What really kickstarted this comeback is talking to Dan Murphy, and we are actually going to be doing a podcast with him this upcoming week for me, and it's going to come out next Monday, the Monday after this one releases, for you guys. And I'm sure it's going to be a great conversation. It always is with Murph. He's changed a lot. He's changed a lot since the last time I talked to him, and it hasn't even felt like that long ago. But I know he lost a lot of weight, and he seems to have chilled out a little bit more. Seems like every time I talk to him, he's chilled out just a little bit more. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, so yeah, when I stopped doing it, it was in May, and summer for me, and this is absolutely no complaint at all, but summer for me, it just tends to get very busy with social stuff. It's hard for me to say no to parties and birthdays, and when my friends want to hang out, and there's fight nights for UFC and everything that comes along with that. Obviously, 4th of July is in summer, and all this stuff that's been going on, and it's hard for me to say no to that stuff, especially when during the winter and I was really grinding this out and work. I kind of just felt lonely because I didn't really hang out with my friends that much. And now it comes to summer, and I have the opportunity to hang out with them more, and I'm going to take that opportunity. I'm not going to say no to that. I'm 21 years old now. I wasn't when we last talked. And I just want to enjoy my time with my friends. I want to enjoy being young. I know I have high standards of what I want my life to become and who I want to be when I'm older. But that's when I'm older. And, I am so mixed in the head. I have a very, very tough time, and this has been eating away at my system as well, where I'm 21 years old. I want to live life. I want to hang out with friends. I want to do all this stuff. I want to travel. I'm going to Austin, Texas in November, 2 months from now, with one friend, and we're going for 4 or 5 days. I want to do that stuff. I'm 21 years old, but that stuff costs money. It costs time. It stops me from it takes 5 days away where I can be working on the podcast, or 5 days away that I can be working and making money. All this to say, I also really, really, really want to be successful when I'm young, and I want to have a large audience, and I want to be a millionaire before I'm 25. That would be a dream of mine. That would be really cool. I want to get married young. I want to have kids young. I want to do all this stuff, and it's all conflicting in my mind because I want to live, but I also want to build the life that I'm going to want when I'm 30. And when I have kids, be able to not have to grind all the time just to live, and let them live. My parents gave me a great, great, great childhood, and I want to give my kids a childhood that is even better, if that's possible. Thank you, Mom and Dad. What else? Yeah, so it's our summer. Trying to level up this podcast a little bit. I get so many signs that it's just like, dude, you have to do the thing. You have to podcast. Just podcast. Just podcast. Conversation between Chris Williamson and Stephen Bartlett, host of Diary of a CEO. That podcast, they went through, actually Chris brought it up. He went through a list of things that are not doing the things. So whatever the thing is in your mind, you know what it is. For me, it's the podcast. For you, it might be art, or it might be starting a business, or it might be going on dates, whatever it is. There's a million different things that are not doing the thing, starting with, talking about doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Reading about doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating people online that have already done the thing isn't doing the thing. It's all these reasons, probably 12, 15 things. Reading this essay about doing the thing isn't doing the thing. And at the very end, it just says the only thing that is doing the thing is doing the thing. And I heard that, and I have heard that in the past too. Just every time I hear that, I'm like, I need to just do it. I need to just do it. Yesterday, 2 days ago, drove to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania with Johnny, who I work with. We went to a motorcycle auction on the way back last night. It's 10:45 at night. We are driving home. We're still an hour and a half away. Whatever it is. No, we weren't that far. Either way, we called Dan Murphy, who we're going to talk to next week. And he's talking about this new business he's trying, and all this stuff, and how he's dialed in, eating right. And this guy has kids. He's married. But he's doing all this stuff. And he talks about this business that he's trying to start. And he's doing the thing. And he's just like, Joey, you got to just podcast, bro. Just start. The Enneagram things, my mom talks about them a lot. And I think those Enneagrams have a lot of stability to them. Like, I think they are true, these personality tests. And my mom said the type of person that I am, I have a tough time starting something, and I have a way easier time continuing doing something. And that actually goes along with my addictive behavior, where, like, if I start something and I really like it, I'm going to have absolutely zero issue to keep doing it. So that's why I'm in here today. That's why I'm recording this, because I want to get back at this. I really miss it. I think it brought a lot more to me than what I initially realized. I got 950 views on the Mike Madden podcast about the proof of God, the proof of the existence of God, or the evidence of, because we are never going to have complete, utter proof. The evidence. And that got whatever 950 views, and I was sky high. I was like, this is awesome. And a lot of those were hate views. I don't know if they were hate views, but there was a lot of hate comments. There's like over 100 comments on that one. And it's mostly just idiots. I'm going to speak the truth on this, on Echoes of Insight. So, idiots just getting mad at whatever. And whether they're right, I don't know. But whatever they were saying, they didn't display it with love and peace. They were attacking and very, very rude. Either way, that stuff happens, and I was very, very excited. And then I upload a solo one next week, and it gets whatever, however many views. And I was very, very proud of that one. I really, really liked it. I loved Sala. I thought he was super smart, and he followed his instincts, and all his instincts seemed to be correct in every situation in his life that he was talking about, which was crazy to me. And just very well spoken, very, very nice guy. And that one didn't do as well. And I was like, dang. And then I'm pretty sure that I had another podcast scheduled for the next week, and it kind of fell through. And instead of really pushing to make it happen or find someone else, I kind of just was like, I'll take a week off, and then take a week off, take a week off. And then there it is. That's who I am. That's who I am. Take a week off. It's easier to take the next week off for me. And I hope with this one that it's going to be a lot easier to be on the next week and to really, really try to level up my game. Don't care as much about the production side of it. Lighting doesn't have to be perfect. I really want it to be good. But that's not what's important. What's important is the quality of the podcast, the quality of the guests, and how I can bring out the best information. And, podcasting is just being a vibe architect. Build the vibe. People like listening to it. If you are a person who listens to podcasts, which I would be concerned if you weren't, considering that you're literally listening to one right now. If you're the type of person that listens to podcasts, think at any point along any podcast that you're listening to, why am I listening to this? And I'd say either you're there to learn something, which is not even really what I do. It's partially, but it's more just I really, really like the vibe between these two people. I love the conversation that they're having. It gets me into a mood to work or lift or whatever. And that's what the job of a podcaster is. I don't know if there's really anything else for me to talk about. I mean, again, like, I get caught in my mind just thinking that it's not going to work and I'm not going to make it. And it just kills my motivation. But realistically, how am I ever going to know if I don't do it? If I don't do it, if I don't try my best, obviously I'm not going to make it. It's just makes sense. I have moved out of my parents' house too, which has been a very great experience. I'm only 15 minutes away from their house now, and I'm there every day. I work there, so I'm there every day anyway. It's great seeing them, but it's also really cool living on my own. I'm 21. I do have a roommate, so I guess I'm not alone. But there's a lot of more responsibilities. I have to clean everything that I make dirty. My mom's not making me food as much anymore. She still makes me breakfast sometimes. And just a lot of stuff like food shopping and stuff that I knew would be there and knew that I'd have to do, but that I never had to do before. So that, yeah, I guess that's it. I don't really want to extend this podcast just to have a certain amount of time. It's only been very short. Either way, I've learned a lot while I was gone. again, internal conflict in my mind about trying to live a life and trying to grind and do all this. And I wrote this right down, that I have trouble finding the balance of podcasting and actually living a life worth talking about. It's like, okay, why would anyone want to listen to me? Maybe because of my guests. Hopefully not because of me, because I feel like I haven't done anything. Most podcasts are podcasts about soccer, or podcasts about sports in general, or podcasts about neuroscience, like Andrew Huberman, and podcasts about this. People who have degrees or interest or a lot of research on a certain topic. And I am just a podcaster talking about podcasting right now, or a podcaster talking about whatever Dan Murphy does for work, or who are you? And I need to realize that there's value in that. It's tough for me to think that when it's something that I'm doing myself. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your habits. Just remember that when you're going about your day and you want to take it off. You want to shut down for the day, give up, go home, take a nap, go to sleep, watch TV. Who is the type of person that you want to be? Do you want to be the type of person? I'm talking to myself here. Do I want to be the type of person to, after work, go home, sit on the couch, watch TV, play video games? Or do I want to be the type of person that, after work, goes to the gym, after the gym, goes home, works on the podcast, researches guests, texts guests, try and set up times, everything. There's so much stuff I can do all the time with this. So much stuff. And it's not going to get done unless I do it. That is what I need to remember. And that is what I'm going to leave you guys with today. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to be talking to Murph next week. Dan Murphy, incredible guy. Look back at my old conversations with Dan Murphy. You will not regret it. You will be so hype and pumped for this next week's podcast on Monday coming out with Dan. Thank you guys again. I wish you all the best, and I hope you wish me the best as well.